Hello everyone, welcome to Coffee with Mergify, Fuel for Everything. So today we have Rishi Harane with us. We'll be discussing about the private equity deal with Dishoom. So I just want to know, out of curiosity, what's your view on the recent private equity deal of Dishoom?
So it seems like that the British has ruled Indians for 400 years, and now the time has reversed. It seems like the Indians have really been able to take control of the Britishers. The deal at valued at 300 million pounds. I'm actually a little bit disappointed with the private equity firm as to why they valued the company at such a valuation, such a ridiculous valuation rather. I have had the misfortunate of eating at Dishoom once in my life here in London. One of their, I think it was a King's Cross branch or something. The food is absolutely tasteless. Someone who prides in cooking and eating Indian food since birth, the curries taste horrible. I shouldn't say that about food, but the curries don't really taste that great. It's the ambience. How they market themselves, Dishoom. You walk into Dishoom, there's a Lord Ganesh idol. Then overall the taps, the lightning and everything, they're trying to recreate Indian heritage. But that's not Indian heritage. Indian heritage is the masalas, the spices. It's all about food, it's all about the taste. When I go to a restaurant in East Ham, Manor Park, I go for the taste. Indian food is all about taste, not presentation. Most of the restaurants in central London are all about ambience, aesthetics. It might work in central London, and that therefore they are getting a footfall and everything. So I'm glad for the two brothers, the founders, who have converted this into a 300 million brand. But as a private equity, if I was in that position, as a private equity investor or as someone who would run a private equity firm, I wouldn't have paid that kind of money because the numbers, it's not, they don't justify the valuation. The taste is not there. What I anticipate is with this particular deal, it's going to be turned into one of those deals where private equity enters a particular space, they destroy the brand. I hope it doesn't happen to Dishoom, but the brothers who bought who been acquired the company, they're going to walk away with a healthy valuation. They're going to walk away with millions. They're going to get the millions. So I'm happy for the brothers. For the private equity firm, I feel sorry for them.
So what do you think about the overvaluation of the company?
It's just Indian food at 300 million pounds. It's got like 12 or 14 stores. It's not that this company has multiple branches. It's not a global brand. Sarvana Bhavan, for example, in
Mm-hmm.
Manor Park, has a lot of branches. That kind of a company, I would understand the valuation at 300, not even 300 million, maybe 30 million, 40 million,
Mm-hmm.
50 million. But Dishoom is just a brand. It's the aesthetics. The food doesn't taste that great. I always maintain that when you're buying Indian food, like let's samosa chat,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want my samosa with that chutney, the green mint chutney, to be in the shape of a river. I bloody want my sauce by the side so I can dip it and then eat it. That's what Indian food is all about. Indian food is not about eating from your eyes, it's about eating from your mouth. So
Exactly.
therefore, in that regard, they shouldn't steal at 300 million. I'm not exactly seeing what the private equity firm has seen. I wish I could see that,
Mm-hmm.
but if I was in that shoes, I wouldn't buy it.
So what's your view on the valuation, and would you have participated in this?
So my view on the valuation is at 300 million pounds, revenue of roughly 117 million, pre-tax profit of 7.5 million pounds, and a net margin of roughly 6.3%. Ridiculous, crazy valuation. 300 million for a business that is operating at 6.3% net margin. I just the deal is not justified in terms of the terms of the deal. And then the funny thing is, the investor terms and everything else is undisclosed. So it's really good. It's icing on the cake for the brothers, the original owners. They have sold the Indian heritage, the dream. They have marketed the product and the service and the business as such that they're selling a part of India. But as an investor, I wouldn't have thrown my coins, let alone notes. I would have stayed away from this deal with a 10-foot pole. But it is what it is. The Britishers looted the Indians for 400 years. I guess it's time for the Indians to do the same to the Britishers.
So true.
Yeah, अच्छा वैसे